Have you guys heard of the distributive property before? So the distributive property, what it says is you take every term in the trinomial by every term in the other either binomial, monomial, trinomial. In this case right here, what we have is we've got a binomial and then we've got a trinomial. So you want to take the 3k and you want to multiply it by every term in the second bracket. And then we're going to take the plus 4 and we're going to multiply it by every term in this bracket again. Okay? So what we need to think is, okay, 3k times k squared is, what helps is when you draw a little rainbow. So you take that, okay, this multiplied by this, and then this multiplied by that, and then this multiplied by that, just to kind of keep track of what you're doing. And so let's first do that. So that's 3k times k squared is going to be 3k cubed, and then 3k times minus 2k is going to be minus 6k squared. Yell out the answers, folks. And then 3k times negative 7 is going to be what kind of a 21? Negative 21k. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take the plus 4, okay, and we're going to multiply it by everything in the second bracket again. All right, so what's 4 times k squared? Okay, and then 4 times negative 2k is minus 8k, and then 4 times negative 7 minus 28. Okay, so that's pretty much what we do. Now what we have to do is combine like terms and simplify. So all your k cubes go together, k squareds go together, k's, and then your constants. Okay? Alright, so this is the only 3k to the power of 3. And then we want to look at our k squareds. So our k squareds, this guy and this guy, minus 2k squared. And then our k's, this guy and this guy. And that's going to give us minus 29k. And then finally, our constant is this guy here. So it's left with minus 28. Okay? All right. So, now this one here, you've got a trinomial and a trinomial. So it's going to be even longer. Okay? So we're going to take this negative 2t squared and multiply it by every guy in this second bracket. And then we're going to take the 4t and we're going to multiply it by every guy in the second bracket. Then we're going to take the negative 3 and multiply it by every guy in the second bracket. Alright, so let's just go ahead and do that. So that's going to give us this times this, minus 10t to the power of 4. This times this is plus 4t cubed. This times this is minus 2t squared. Alright, then I'm going to switch pens just so you can see. I'm going to take this and multiply it by every guy here. Okay? So that's going to give me 20 t to the power of 3, and then minus 8 t squared, and then plus 4t. Alright, so I'm not done. I need to do this again. So let's take this minus 3, find a pen that works, minus 3, and then I'm going to multiply it by everything again. Okay, so that's going to give me minus 15t squared plus 6t and then minus 3. Okay, so I've got lots of terms, right? Now I need to combine them. And your answer is going to be, collect all your, so that's the t to the power 4. And then I need all my t cubes. Okay, and then all my t squareds. And that's going to give me, how many t squareds do I have? So negative 2, negative 8, and negative 15. So that's minus 25. And then my t's, right here, that's 10. And then my constant, which is right here. All right, so now I can't combine them any further, right? It's all together. All right. Now, this question here, it says expand and simplify. Now, what do we know about what something, like let's say if we have 3 squared, what does that equal to? 3 times 3, okay? So whatever is put to the exponent of 2, you have to rewrite it twice, all right? So this, you need to rewrite as 4k minus 3m, 4k minus 3m, okay? And then you have to run distributive property on this. And combine your like terms, do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around, and then that's what it's all about. Okay, so this is going to be 16k squared, and then this times this is minus 12km, and then this times this is minus 12km again, and then your last guy is plus 9m squared. Combine your like terms. Okay, and then that's your final answer there. Any questions so far? So this is pretty much what we're doing, okay? Why don't you guys try the next one without me showing you how to. Okay, so you should be a couple steps ahead of me. So we're going to take this 2v and multiply it with everything. So we get 6v squared plus 4vw minus 14v, and then take the minus 5w, multiply it with everything in the second bracket. So we get minus 15vw, but I'm writing wv, minus 10w squared, and then plus 35w. Okay, so you just have to be careful with the negatives and all of that stuff. So now combine everything, so all your v squareds, all your vw's, all your w's, and your w squareds. So that's going to give us 6v squared minus all the vw's, negative 11vw's, 14v, do I have any other v's? Nope. And w squared's my w's, so I can write plus, all right, 35w, and then I'll write minus 10w squared. So the order isn't too crucial, but usually what ends up happening is that you go in alphabetical order. You go down one and down in powers of one and up in powers of the other, but we're not going to be too sticky on that. Okay, how'd that go? Go okay? Okay. All right. All right, here, this one. This one is just crazy long, and you have to keep track of it, and you have to do it in a couple of steps, just making sure you're okay with everything. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be combining these two first. So you run the distributive property on this. Okay. So you see how I'm doing the first of each bracket, then I'm doing the outsides of each bracket, then the insides of the bracket, and the lasts of each bracket. So just kind of, we call that FOIL sometimes because it's the first, inside, outside, last. And it's just referring to where it's placed in the bracket. So let's run through that first. So it's 12m squared minus 8m plus 3m minus 2. And then I've got the plus sign. So I'm going to write this plus sign in red because it's referring to this plus sign right here. And I want to make sure that you write it down and that you don't leave it somewhere flying away and you don't lose it or anything, because it's important. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this 2 and we're going to multiply it into this first bracket only. Okay, so I'm going to take the 2 and I'm going to multiply it into this first bracket, and then it's going to be part of this first bracket. And then I'm going to rewrite the second bracket as is. Whoops. Does that look better? I forgot to multiply it through completely. Okay. Any questions on that? So we're taking this bracket, this 2, and we're multiplying it through this first bracket. So we end up with 4m, and then minus 2. Okay? So that's how I ended up with this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite everything else. I'm going to rewrite it exactly the same. I could have combined it there if I wanted to, but I wasn't thinking about that. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to now run the distributive property on this set of brackets. So I'm going to end up with negative 12. This here is going to give me a negative 12 m squared, and then that's going to give me plus 16m, and then plus 6m, and then a minus 8. Okay, this m squared, see how I opened this bracket? I should have closed it right here. So when I'm rewriting this part right here, notice how you have a plus and then a minus? So really what happens to this guy? Yeah, okay. So I can just kind of clean it up like this. Can I combine these two? Yeah, what does it become? Plus 22m minus 8. Okay, can I combine these two guys here? What does it become? Negative 5m minus 2, and then 12m squared. So as I'm going through, I'm just kind of cleaning it up. And now I'm going to combine like terms. What do you notice right here and here? Okay, so it's going to be 0m squared. I don't need to write it down. Okay, so I'm just going to cross them off to remember that I've taken care of them. And now here I've got an m and an m. How many am I left with? 17m. And then I've got a constant and another constant, which leaves me with negative 10. So that's your final answer for that one. Okay, now this last example, what can I say about this last example? Be careful of the negatives, okay? So you see this negative right here? Beware of the negative, don't lose it, don't forget about it. It's gonna have an impact on the answer, of course, so just be careful with the way that you're dealing with it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to expand and simplify. We're going to multiply this bracket out with this one, and then I'm going to rewrite this. So this is what I'm going to have. 6h plus k minus 2, and then 2h minus 3 minus, and now I'm going to rewrite this bracket out twice, because if I don't, then catastrophic errors will occur. See, because we have this little squared guy up there, it means that entire bracket has to be written out twice. So now let's do our distributive property on what we can. So I'm going to treat this as one chunk, and I'm going to treat that as another chunk. I'll do this first part in red. Okay, so this is going to be 12h squared, and then 6 times this, and then 6 times this, which is negative, what? Okay, here I'll draw the arrows. Okay, so this times this is 12h squared. Now folks, what's 6h times negative 3? Just negative 18? Okay, and now the k times this and this. Come on, I'm the one who lost my voice, not you guys. Come on. Okay, and then minus 4h plus 6, okay? Be careful with the negatives and positives. Make sure you're saying them, make sure you're writing them down. All right, now, you know this minus sign right here? That's this minus sign right here. Okay, I'm going to write this on the next line because I don't have enough room to finish it. Or do you think I have enough room? Yeah? Okay, so let's do that. And then let's put a bracket here. Okay, let's forget about that. Let's run through this here. What is the answer? Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. I'm almost going to fall off the end of the paper. Oh boy. Can you see my bracket ending off there? Okay. Does that look okay? Okay. All right. Now, you notice how I've got that bracket and I've got that negative in front of it? How does that impact? How does this impact this? You have to run that negative through, right? It switches all the signs of everything that comes after it. Okay. I think it does the same thing. It's just a little verbal trick for you to remember. Yeah. Because what that is, what, you're keeping the first sign as whatever's out here?
No, you keep the first part of the thing and then you change this to back because the bus and then everything in the bus is off.
So look at what I'm going to write. Hang on a second. Okay, so this is H's, and then I think I'm jumping the gun here. So my h and k plus 2h. Okay, I feel like I've messed this up. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. So I've got negative 18h. Do I have any other h's? I do. So if I combine those two, then what do I have? Gee, I just can't catch a break today, can I? Okay, 12h squared. And then this and this gives me minus 22h. Okay, dealt with those. Now, plus 2hk. Minus 3k plus 6, and then minus, and I'm just gonna, can I combine these two so that it's minus 24 hk? Are you guys okay if I do that? So then I only have to write one thing down later. 16h squared minus, but that's going to change and it's going to become a plus 24 hk, and this was a plus 9k, so it's now going to be 9 minus 9k squared. Okay, so let's try to clean this mess up. I have a 12h squared and a minus 16h squared, so that's going to give me minus 4h squared. And then, do I have any other h's? Nope. Okay, gone. Okay, what else do I have? HK's. I have 2 here, and I have 24 here. Okay, that's 26 of them. I'm going to cross them off as I deal with them so that I can keep track. Because this, you can see that this is getting a lot to keep track of, right? And it's really a matter of just keeping track of it. And plus 6 and then minus 9k squared. Okay, so what I'm going to say to you is I'm going to challenge you right now to write this question down on a separate piece of paper, the exact same question, exactly the same, and try to get through it on your own, okay? You've got the answer, so just try it, because it's just a matter of keeping track, all right? And this will give you good practice. You have exactly the same, you know, exactly what it should be, and where you saw kind of common errors of where potentially you can make mistakes. Just be careful running through it, okay? And then your homework's at the bottom there.